Hello, folks. This is Thomas Park, and I haven't addressed people using video, at least in terms of filming myself on video, in a while. I just wanted to say hello to people. I have moved down to Florida, and for about a year, I was staying with my sister nearby in Saint Augustine, near the World Golf Village, and some nice resorts there. And more recently, she helped me find my own place to stay, which is this room here. It's called a stayable, and it's apparently this new way of looking at housing where you can either spend a few nights here, like it's in a hotel, or you can spend longer periods of time. And I happen to have a lease for a year here. It's a very affordable place to stay. There's a kitchenette, and there's everything that someone like me, kind of a bachelor type guy, would need. Um, Basically, I'm down here working a lot. I work two jobs, and I'm trying to continue to pay off some debts I incurred, mostly over the past few years in downtown St. Louis. Um, some things that are a lot more positive here, though. I've got a nice program I'm working with for debt consolidation. They're really great. The jobs are pretty cool. The people are nice. And even though I get worn out sometimes, I know I'm in there with other people who are struggling right alongside with me, so I don't feel alone. And also that's actually helping to pay the debt down. And I finally found myself with one of those situations I wanted, which was to say my own place to stay or room, etc., with some privacy, which I have now, and also a solvent budget month to month, which has finally fallen into place. I should say, after a lot of work has been completed, like a huge project. The Work Star. It's not the Death Star, it's the Work Star. It took a long time to build, in spite of the great plans by Jin Urso or whoever. I digress. Anyway, it's a cool place down here. It's very mild in temperature. The skies are almost always either clear or there's some nice white fluffy clouds in them. Sometimes we'll get rain, maybe once a day around 2 or 3. This wind seems to blow off the Atlantic Ocean. The ocean's about maybe half hour from here, and you can feel the ocean in the air. You can kind of sense that we're not far from the Atlantic. There's a very beautiful beach down, of course, by the Atlantic itself. A lot of people love to go there, and so generally, it's I'm really living in a place that a lot of people either retire or only come visit just to get some fun in the sun. So it's a little bit different here. It's different from St. Louis, very much a place for residents there, a place for families to settle and raise kids, etc. Yes, a lot of people do that here too, but there are also a lot of tourists who are coming through, and there are a lot of people who are working in crews. Some of them are military, but many of them are people just constructing new buildings, new roads. They're building new businesses. So, insofar as St. Louis is falling apart economically, here in St. Augustine, land is being bought pretty quickly, and swamps are being filled in, and a lot of businesses and residences are being built here. It looks like in the future people think that this area is just going to continue to grow and grow, and there is a lot more space and a lot more nature left here, or at least around the cities. Well, let me just say it feels different than California, where every square foot seems to be, 20 people have been trying to buy that square foot to stand on or something. In Florida, there is some room still, there is some natural swamp land, there are some trees left, and there's some space here that has not been snapped up. Also, the natural elements, we don't get the forest fires as much here. We do get some storms. There's an occasional hurricane. The people down here are very mellow about hurricanes. I remember when one of them came through, and I was talking to my sister. I thought I'd impress her. I said, "It's going to be a Cat 4." And she said, "Oh, well, we'll just have to close the doors and keep the generator on for a day, and then we'll be okay." So people here are accustomed to the hurricanes and any kind of weather that's inclement, but usually it's nice, warm, clear, and temperate, and with blue skies and fluffy clouds. So it's a really kind of a beautiful place to live. Um, Another note is that the music's going well. I did actually meet some people down here. I performed a couple of live shows, including one in Orlando and two in Gainesville. And I've also been playing out around the countryside here, and in some of the resorts, just practicing, improvising out in the rolling hills and swamps. Have recorded a lot of stuff. And finally, here, now that I'm in the stable, this sort of place of my own with a little more privacy, I can record with a little bit more concentration, and that's going really well. So that my practice with the cornet and the piano and the trombone and some other instruments has finally begun to show a little bit better in the way I play, which is a great relief to me. And so I intend to continue pursuing the music here. And that's something that I've always enjoyed since being an adult, really. So basically, things are going pretty well. They're on the mend. They're on the fix, on the pay, and there's some light at the edge of things and a little hope as well as the days go on. That life will continue to improve, at least in some way, with a lot of hard work and dedication. So, ain't that life? Anyway, good to talk to you all. Hope you're doing well. Thomas Park.